Coffee? Cup of tea?
No, thank you. I really am not going to stay. But before I leave, there's something I have to say to you, Mr. Buchanan. This is very difficult for me, Mr. Buchanan. I really never thought that I would ever have occasion to apologize to a man, and I certainly never thought that I would ever have to apologize to you. However, I find that I may have judged you too harshly, and for that I'm sorry.
Ginny, listen,
No, please do not interrupt me. Otherwise I shall turn and run. It is embarrassing enough for me to be saying this, and I also find that I'm furious with myself for believing in my mother's conviction that men are not to be trusted.
Well, there's a lot of men out there that shouldn't be trusted. I don't count myself among them, but...
Well, neither do I. Not anymore. But for goodness sakes, you really must share in a part of the blame. If you had only told me about your wife and your family disappearing, I would certainly have been more understanding.
Well, it's kind of hard to explain, Ginny, and...
Well, yes, I realize that. Buddy explained to me how cowboys don't like to share their feelings with other people. But really, after I had spoken to you about my past and my feelings, you certainly could have spoken too.
I never meant to be dishonest with you. I hope you believe that.
Buddy characterized your family's disappearance by saying it was as if a gust of wind had swept them away.
Well, maybe it was me that the gust of wind swept away. The point is, I can't find them, they can't find me, and I don't know if I'll ever see them again.
How very sad.
Well, like they say, the Lord works in mysterious ways, and I'll just have to trust that he knows what he's doing and do my best to play the hand that he deals me.
My goodness. You are not only hopelessly romantic, you're also a very optimistic fellow.
Well, it beats going around looking at my boots and missing the good things that are going on around me. Ginny, I appreciate your apologizing to me and your understanding. Thank you. You know, it seems like all I've done since I met you is apologize to you for interfering in your life.
You do have a terrible habit of meddling in things that don't concern you.
But you do concern me, Ginny. Your happiness concerns me. All right. I probably am wrong for pushing Randolph Lord on you as hard as I did, but I just have this strong feeling, this conviction that the cornerstone to life itself is a relationship between a man and a woman. And I firmly believe that you are a woman who deserves to experience all that, all the best of life. And the best that it has to offer is love and marriage and kids and grandkids, and I'm doing it again. I overstepped my boundaries. I'm sorry.
Apology accepted, Mr. Buchanan.
Clint.
I certainly appreciate your kindness and your concern. But I really do feel that the good Lord has different plans for me.
Well, not necessarily. Randolph Lord is going to be back in town in 2 months. Never can tell what might develop.
In 2 months, I will be in St. Louis. Mr. Lord will be a memory. A pleasant one, but a memory nonetheless. I really must be getting back to town.
Well, why don't I tie my horse to the back of your buggy and just kind of ride along with you?
Thank you very much, but I think you should go back to your work. I'm sure I will find my way back to town.
Will you have lunch with me? Today? At the hotel? I mean, the food's good, and I'd really appreciate and be much obliged to you for sharing your company with me and your knowledge. I mean, about San Francisco, St. Louis, cowboys don't get around that much. We don't know that much about city life. And I'm very curious. I promise I'll mind my manners, and I won't embarrass you. I promise. Come on, what do you say?
1 o'clock?
I'll be there. Is everything ready?
Yeah, the cook's are fixing up her favorite dish.
No, not the food, everything else. Is Bub going to live up to his end of the bargain?
Oh, well, he better, unless he wants the shortest marriage on record.
What, you threatened him with divorce?
Well, and a few other things. He's not likely to want to live with that. Oh, Ginny. Ladies, how very nice to see you.
Hello, Clint.
I do, Miss Fletcher. You know, I'm sure obliged to you for agreeing to have lunch with me, but I think we picked the worst possible day to do it.
I do hope there is not going to be a shootout of some kind.
No. This is a peaceful town now. But the thing is, I don't think the hotel is going to be all that quiet this afternoon because of the school.
What school?
Well, the local kids are coming by here to take their lessons.
Here?
Yes, and actually, it's pretty much your fault. You know, when you gave May that dictionary and those readers, well, she got all fired up and decided to enlist the aid of the townspeople in educating the kids. Now, since we don't have our schoolhouse or a permanent teacher, we just have to make do with what we got.
But in a hotel lobby?
Beats the saloon.
Oh, yes. Well, I certainly cannot argue with that.
Yeah. Well, May's hoping that if this thing works out, the folks will get together and build a schoolhouse.
Yes, but what about a teacher?
Well, folks here in town are taking turns at it. I know you're not real comfortable at the saloon, Ginny, but I think probably be more quiet if we went over there and had tea.
No, really. A few children learning their 3 R's certainly wouldn't bother me in the slightest.
Really?
Oh.
Well, let's go into the dining room then. It's a lovely dress.
Thank you very much. I would like to have the special for the day, please. It's usually quite good.
Oh, well, I'll have the same. I'll drink lemonade or coffee and tea for the lady.
Mr. Buchanan, Clint, I was on my way home from the farm to the town this morning, and I started thinking about your problem. One of the unfortunate aspects of the settling of the West has been its effect on families. Many have been torn apart, loved ones separated for various reasons beyond their control.
Well, that's the price you pay for forging new frontiers.
Have you considered possibly writing to some of the large newspapers around the country? You know, many of them have a column where you can list missing persons. Have you thought about such a thing? Perhaps you'll be able to find your wife and children.
Well, I appreciate your, suggesting it.
Well,
but,
here, you see, I have written down the names and the addresses of some of these large newspapers that do have such a column, and I think it is worth a try, don't you?
Well, I don't think it'd really do me all that much good, Ginny. I mean, my situation is kind of unusual.
But surely, you're not going to abandon the search for them and give up hope.
I guarantee you, my heart is so full of hope that it absolutely aches from the sheer weight of it.
The business takes more pride in the education and welfare of its citizens.
No time to teach a bunch of screaming kids.
Oh, my dear. Buck Buchanan is the teacher today?
Kids. That's a worry I can do without. Hell, I'd rather meet a guy at high noon than spending 3 hours teaching a bunch of brats.
And what about the children that we're planning to have? Or would you rather your Buchanan name just to stop with your demise?
Well, we're going to have one.
One? Honey.
All right, maybe 2, but not a whole room full.
After dealing with a whole room full, maybe you'll appreciate our 2 even more.
You take over the teaching chores today. I'll do it some other time.
I can't. The whiskey wagon's coming in. I got to meet him at the saloon.
Shoot, I can do that for you.
No, you're staying here.
Flaming!
Children that we're planning to have? Or would you rather your Buchanan name just to stop with your demise?
Well, we're going to have one.
One? Honey.
All right, maybe 2, but not a whole room full.
After dealing with a whole room full, maybe you'll appreciate our 2 even more.
You take over the teaching chores today. I'll do it some other time.
I can't. The whiskey wagon's coming in. I got to meet him at the saloon.
Shoot, I can do that for you.
No, you're staying here. Now help me bring that blackboard in.
Honey, half these kids don't have sense to command the reins. Now, how am I going to improve minds that cannot be improved?
Oh, come on.